Welcome to Coastside Poetry. Thanks to those of you who've Zoomed in and those who are watching on YouTube. We meet virtually on the second Tuesday of every month to share our words. I'm Diane Mumi, and Steve Long and I are your hosts for this evening. Our featured poet event is being recorded and streamed live onto YouTube as we speak. So anyone can look at it later. We'll be posting the link on our website, coastsidepoetry.org. This evening, we welcome Angie Minkin. Named the 2025 Passager Poet, Angie is a reader for the MacGuffin, and her work has been published in that journal, Birdie, Loch Raven Review, New Verse News, Persimmon-Tree, Rattle, Spoon River Poetry Review, and elsewhere. Her chapbook, Balm for the Living, was published by Finishing Line Press in 2023. And she is a co-author of Season Lightly with Salt from Raven and Wren Press, Dreams and Blessings from Blue Light Press, Lineage Songs, her full-length collection, is forthcoming from Finishing Line Press in 2026. And I have it on good authority that it's actually available now. So this is wonderful. Please welcome Angie.
Thank you so much, Diane and Steve. I'm so thrilled to be here. I really appreciate this opportunity. And yes, my full-length collection, Lineage Songs, is available now for pre-order, and I put the link in the chat for all of you. I just want to show you the cover. It's really, it's not quite a mirror image, but it's called Lineage Songs, and it's a beautiful sanderling reflected in the ocean at the shoreline. It's a fabulous photo by John Murnane, and I'm so grateful that he let me use it. So I'm going to be reading several poems from that book to you tonight, but I'm going to start with a poem for my new little granddaughter. She's not so new anymore. She's 14 months, but she's still so little and so cute. Caroline Jean Snyder, and I'd like to dedicate this reading to her. This is called Casting Spells on Mother's Night. Hannah, Sarah, Sylvia, Alice, Esther, Beverly, aunties, mothers, grands, and greats, come, join me on this night before winter solstice. Stay as the light changes to copper, fades to deep black. Chant the sun into returning. Protect Caroline, my grandbaby, who is starlight and rhythm. Hear her laugh while we sing of whales, ducks, and bunnies. Her giggle will gladden you. Every day new, every minute ripening. She's learned to wave. She's learned to stand. Soon she will walk. She is actually walking now. How do we let her wander into this world of orchids, ogres, gold ginkgos, vanishing glaciers? Create an amulet, mothers, amethyst, tiger's eye, smoky quartz, Alice's lapis worry beads, Hannah's ruby locket, strands of hair and baby teeth, saved all these years in my jewelry box. Light fires, mothers, burn rosemary, transmute to dragons, to sear a path for our girl. That's for our lovely Caroline. And I know that, Caroline is super lucky. She's got fabulous moms who, oh, sorry, who love her dearly. But there are kids who are not so lucky, and this poem was inspired by going to the Alamany Farmers Market, where my husband and I go almost every Saturday, and just seeing spring in all its beauty. And it was the day that war was declared on Iran. So this poem was recently published in New Verse News, which is a fabulous site for topical poetry. Those of you who write political poetry of any kind, I urge you to submit to James Penha. He's really fabulous. In the market, here we are again. An unseasonably warm day at the end of February, and San Francisco's Alamany Farmers Market bursts with early blueberries and babies, the first pink tulips and yellow ranunculus, a 3-year-old in ruffles, her white dress tied with a sash, smiles as she pushes her brother in his stroller, her mama close by in case of trouble. I imagine markets in Iran, babies and strollers, mamas in hijabs buying dates and radishes, little girls playing with their brothers. I imagine bombs and blood. These babies, this market, here we are again. May it get better. Um, so now I'm going to read a few poems from my new book, Lineage Songs. And this is the prologue poem, What to Bet On in Las Vegas. Death pools, of course, idols and popes. How quickly we'll spring to the next world. Who will find there? A sieve of seeds, density of life, torrents of rain, underground streams, flooding, fracturing, rivers of luck, unknown gardens, sharp money breaking bad on bookies' calls. We wave as the elevator rises, focus on magic tricks, birdsong transmuting to roses, blind to the double undercut, the double cross, the bottomless shuffle. All that force. The odds are with the house. Never mind. Let's bet we'll be here for the next blue moon, or at least place our money on lilies blooming in the desert. And I know that all of us here are nourished by poetry, and that it fills a really important place in our lives, both writing it and reading it. And this poem was inspired after I heard Mary Oliver reading on a podcast. So the poem is entitled After Listening to Mary Oliver on a Podcast. I'm tired, I told my friend, tired of the weather, done with being mired in bad news, drowning in the world's sorrows. So much out of my control. Hiding behind sunglasses, I plug my ears with headphones and walk myself to the woods, nearly trotting as I pass blackened trunks, step over thin shoots of green, move in and out of shadow. She speaks, and my breath slows. I listen and begin to notice the exuberance of oxalis and wild radishes, orange-blown poppy blossoms, and that are nearly flying in afternoon wind, life that won't be denied. This air sweetened with new growth, this lupine laden with fat honeybees, all ignoring me. I unplug my ears, lose the shades, and pause as foraged honey infuses my cells. For one moment, I find grace in the rasp of a crow, flash of a garter snake, blue in new grass, the wail of a far-off sax. And my next poem was inspired by a trip my husband and I made to Mexico. We go to Mexico a lot. And this year, one year, we went to Merida, which is beautiful and hot, so hot. And we took a field trip to a protected bioreserve called Celestún. And we were lucky enough to see flamingos everywhere. And uh, to see flamingos fly is just, it's really an incredible experience. So this poem is called Old Women Dream They Are Flamingos. A flamboyance of slate blue history, these eyebrow penciled water bearers, these tales twice told, flock over cobblestones, revolve around each other, faster and faster. An end game looms, stone-faced. They recite odysseys of lost mates, woven mud nests, tangled mangrove roots. They haven't lost their fancy footwork, not yet. They dance together or alone, on one leg or two. How true they fly into the offing, the sun. So, um, I don't know. Thank you so much. I don't know if any of you watched the Kentucky Derby that was televised a couple of weeks ago. I don't usually watch it, but I happened to watch it that this year, and I was so inspired by Golden Tempo, who came all the way from the back to win. This amazing horse who was trained by a woman trainer, the first time that a woman trainer's horse has won in 152 years. That is like so crazy to me, but I love it. So that made me think about my dad, and he really loved horse racing. We went several times. He also loved dog racing, which was, kind of terrible and wonderful all at the same time. So I wrote this poem called Dog Days at Mile High Greyhound Park after Ellen Bass. When the sun tilted, we went to the dogs. Dad on fire to get to the track. Mother tut-tutting, dressed in her best black and white polka dots. We piled in the old blue station wagon. No dilly-dallying on dog days. Blare of trumpets, uncaged dogs flare past, muffled, nuzzled, snarling snouts, eyes glued to Rocky the white mechanical rabbit, streaming ahead. My brother and I pressed to the fence, wide-eyed, my heart pounding urge to bolt. Orange Fantas, tricolor cotton candy, sticky benches, honey thick light. Cheering or booing, we followed Dad's lead. Yips when he won, barks when he lost. The ground around us cluttered with trashed tatters of dreams. The long drive home, singing off key with summer hits, or radio silence, dinner at the Lotus Room, or boiled hot dogs, odd set by the thickness of Dad's wallet, my eyes fixed on the long ash of his Winston, his hazy smoke. Um, Many of my poems, thank you, many of my poems are about the women in my family, but love our guys too. And this next poem is for my son, who is about to have another birthday. And I wrote this a few years ago. For my son on his 39th birthday. At 3:16 a.m. exactly, my mind swims with the cleaving, the feeding, the cradling, the swaddling, the toothless grins. You, duck feeder, deep hole digger, sword carrying monster stalker, Nintendo master, red-eyed, rave-going survivor, calculus whiz, home run smasher, swimmer with green turtles. You always found your way, except that burning day at Baker Beach when you vanished in a maze of kids and dogs, when I let go of your hand for 1 second to wipe your baby sister's nose. And for a moment, I froze, laser focused on the channel leading to the sea. Deep enough to drown a 6-year-old? Frantic, zigging, zagging, and there you were in your favorite chartreuse shirt, clutching a stranger's hand, our tears streaming together. A 5-minute, 3-act drama. I swung you in my arms, too big to cradle, but feather light, as I carried you and your sister to safety, my feet burning as I forged a path. Um, I, I'd like to read a couple of poems that are part of the Lineage Song series. And these are, this is a sonnet, part of a sonnet crown, which is 7 sonnets linked together. And 5 of these poems were the poems that I was honored to win the Passenger Prize in 2025. So I'm really thrilled about that. This is a Lineage Song 2, Song of My Mother as she tap dances in the kitchen. The woman I will become applauds me as I applauded my mother. Her shuffle, her kickball change in socks, anklets lacy, thin and white. They broke my heart, break it still. The big band music she loved, Glenn Miller, or maybe Count Basie. Her secret smile while she bopped across our linoleum, stirring pots on the stove, always with style. Her pride as she danced by, her off-key hum, the radio's thrum. My brother in his crib, waving blue booties, sucking his left thumb. Sweet flow before my father's heavy tread, before the music slipped a beat, before mother's feet froze, before she slammed the door. And the next poem is Lineage Song 3, Song of My Grandmother, as she gives up her children at the Jewish home. And you'll hear some echoes in this poem that come from the other poem. My mother's feet froze when my grandmother left her at the home. Bubby's jaw set, feet dragging on the floor, leaving the kinder to bed, to food. Gone was her hope, her money, all gone. Alone since her husband died from the flu. Had to find odd jobs to sew masks and shrouds. No crone she, but felt old as she worked to weave time and pay rent. That monthly nut felt like stones heavy in her pocket. But these kids were safe at the home. She thought their smiles shone wide. Tura Tura Lura Lura Tura Lura Lai, her sad refrain at night, unheard, and my mother's prayers too, unheard. But I learned to tap dance there, she said. Do I have time for one more poem, Diane? Yeah? Okay, one more. Lineage Song 4, Song of My Sister Cooking Soup. Unheard now, my mother's tap dancing shoes, but soft in the air as Nat stirs the soup. Minestrone, my favorite, long stewed in rich broth with cannellini beans, loops of spinach and squash, and we conjure Mom, her secret smiles, her recipe files fat with cards for lemon cake, for soup, that balm, her work. Our tries never as good as the past. Nap soup is close though. She hums as she works, her apron looped like Mom's, her hands busy dicing carrots, her smile a bit sad. Worse not to talk about her, she says. Is she really gone? Yes. Those last days still tattooed and heavy. Let's drink soup, long brewed, love stewed. Thanks so much, everyone. What a thrill to be here. I can't wait to hear all of your poems.
Thank you so much, Angie. Thank you. I welcome anyone to unmute and make some noise. So
Yay!
just
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Lovely.
David.
That was fantastic, Angie. Those poems are beautiful. And
Oh,
I have already ordered your book.
Yay, thank you.
Beautiful, Angie. Just
Oh,
absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful. Musical.
Thank you.
I love
Bravo!
those two.
Bravo!
Yeah. Bravo, Angie. Bravo.
Thank you.
Love those
Wow.
legacy poems. Love them.
Great job, Angie.
Thank you, Ira. So lovely to see all of you here. It really is just warms my heart.
Your family really introduced us to your family. It was so beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Louise.
Yeah. I also love that so many of your poems are about family.
Thank you, Julia.
Mhm.
They're all in, these are the people who inspire us.
Absolutely.
mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Thanks again for being here, everyone. Such a pleasure to see you all.
Yes. Well, thanks again, Angie, so much. We'll stop recording in a moment. Those of you in the Zoom room, please stay online if you'd like to take part in open mic. Thanks to all our YouTube listeners. Please tune in for our next regular Coastside Poetry event on Tuesday, June 9th, when we'll welcome David Rosenthal as our feature. Thanks so much for joining us and for helping to keep the lamps of poetry burning.